and this coach just had a very
a great chapter to begin.
Let's go! Still on his feet. Slip the tackle. 20, 15, 10.
Yes, I got to be here all the time. Serious. So what's this first round? Check. Check 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody here in the back? Good. Audio, is the level okay? I'm going at about 4 to 6 inches. Is the level good? Okay. To the right, everybody coming here. Raise your hand if you're here, okay? Okay. Slowly, everybody. To the left over here. Everybody can hear?
Can y'all hear me? 8 all the way up to 15, so everybody should be taken care of. If we need some extra sizes, feel free to reach out to Coach and we'll make that happen for y'all today. So, Cleats for Character. Essentially, exactly how it sounds is what it is, right? As we donate these cleats, it's an opportunity to highlight the power of character, right? The power of the game of football. And we'll have a special guest today who'll be able to talk about that and really emphasize the impact that football has, right? Beyond just the game. And as you wear these cleats can be an opportunity to represent the power of football through the character that you develop playing the game. But I want to start off with a quick little drill that we do sometimes with our players, with our guys. Y'all cool with doing that with me? Sure. Okay, cool. So when I say set, go, I want you to clap one time. You got me? Set, go, clap one time. Y'all ready? Here we go. Set, go. Set, go. Now let me get one clap on the second go. One clap on the second go. Here we go. Set, go. Uh-oh. Here we go. Come on. Y'all want to run it back? All right, here we go. Here we go. One clap on the second go. Here we go. Say go. Go. Say go. Oh. I thought we was ready. All good, all good. Let me get one clap. One clap. Just one clap right now. Let me get two claps. Give me three claps. Give me 1, 2, 3. Clap that up. Good stuff. A very, very special guest here today. Excited to introduce him. He was the last NFL player to ever start as a place kicker and a punter. He played in the Super Bowl. He won the Golden Kicker Award, which goes to the top kicker in the NFL. He was a third-round pick in the NFL draft. Let's give it up for former Ram, Frank Corral.
Just a real quick note, okay? I grew up right around the corner from here, on Downey and 3rd. And, you know, it's always a pleasure and a privilege to come and talk to kids that I see is the future of our country, of our game. Just volunteerism of you guys are doing. Jonathan asked me as we were coming down, what is the one thing that stands out? Look, if you ask your teacher what kind of kid or student you are, they're going to say wonderful, right? They're going to say this, your parents are going to say that. But the one thing, just keep this in mind, the one thing that will separate you from each and every one of you guys here is giving it to your community. That's the one thing that stands out in my mind growing up, and every time I get invited to come to East LA, it just brings back all those wonderful memories. I had a beautiful upbringing here. Unfortunately, my dad had a job in Riverside, and it was very difficult. So we moved to Riverside, and I did all my high schools over there in a high school by the name of Norte Vista. And if you're talking about culture change, culture shock, it was predominantly white. There were no Latinos, there were no African Americans, there was just one. Tyrone Williams and myself were the only Latino and African American. So obviously the head coach looked at me and says, football, you need to be playing soccer. So obviously soccer was my love, but my God, who's going to tell me what to play, what not to play, and so on and so forth? Even a coach. Believe me, guys, I love and I respect all coaches. I coached for 25 years at Riverside Community College. And there's nothing better than to be teaching the kids and then see them succeed. See, I was talking to Jaime a little while ago. My God, and each and every one of you guys remind me of Jaime. Remind me of the things that you're going to pull out of here, Roosevelt High School, bring it on to wherever you're going, wherever your destiny takes you, and then just give it all, your all. Jonathan, it's about that. It's about giving your all. Once you try, you don't look back, you just look forward and keep going forward. When the Rams asked me, you want to compete, because we're dropping down from 53 to 49, and they needed an extra body, and they asked me, you want to compete in soccer? I'm already competing against one of the best kickers in the league, against Rafael Sepien. He went on to the Cowboys, and now they're asking me to try and compete. And I said, sure, because what? We're team players, right? So I did, and fortunately, I was able to win out the position. And for 2 years, I'll tell you what, the hardest part of that was practice. Was that practice? I had to punt, I had to kick, I had to kick off, do all that stuff that people do. That was the hardest thing. The best part about it is that I'm able to take back those memories, take those memories with me, and telling you, yo soy el único mexicano que jugó las dos posiciones en esta liga. You guys understand that? I'm the last one to have done both. Fortunately, the Rams gave me the opportunity, and you know what? I had it in me to do it. I've had 2 surgeries, both my hips been redone, my shoulder's been redone, and say they asked me, would you do it over again? What do you guys think? In a second, right? It comes with the territory. Those are the things that happen. But you know what? Even through injuries, you learn. You learn, you grow, and then you give it back. My biggest pleasure, and this is it, kids, is giving it back to the community. I run all what they call the alternate sentencing program for those that go to court and can't afford to pay it. I run that in the city of Riverside. I would love to bring it to LA, and we're close. We just got to do a couple bills in Sacramento, and we'll get it there. But what it is, it just gives people second chances. Everybody deserves a second chance. I even had a second chance. Not in the criminal aspect of it, just the fact that I was cut from football as a freshman, and I have a national football ring, an NFC championship ring. How do you tell that? How do you say that? Somebody told me, and I don't dare get myself in that category of Michael Jordan, but he too was cut from basketball. And he's probably right there with Kobe, right? We'd agree on that? So those are the things, you know, I learned from getting cut, and then when I came back, I applied. I mean, I had that coach's face in my mind each and every day I was lifting. Each and every day I was running. Each and every day I was doing the Burma rows. Remember those? I had his mind in those. So listen, at UCLA, make All-American, everything else. So the district asked me, Frank, you want to come and do the sports banquet? Sure. Guess who was going to be in attendance? The coach that cut me. He was going to be in attendance. And I said, okay. So I'm writing down little script, little notes, right? So you get up there and speak. So I'm writing them down, and my mom happens to see it. You're not going to tell him that, are you? I said, heck yeah, I've been waiting all these years to let him have it. All these years I've been waiting, and now is my opportunity. The mic is a powerful, powerful tool. And so I said, okay. She goes, think about it, Mel. Think about it, because now if you do it, you bring yourself down to that level. So I thought about it. And you know what I did is I got up there and something just changed in me. I put the paper down and I looked at him. I said, you know, Coach, thank you very much. Thank you for pushing me. Thank you for doing what you did, because that's what drove me. After the fact, he was glad. But then I looked at him. I said, but don't you ever do that again to another human being. You do not treat them because of the color of the skin. You don't treat them because of this. This is where you feel, right here. That big heart of yours. That's where you get to know the individual. We got to be good friends. Believe it or not, he ended up not necessarily apologizing. You know, coaches' positions are tough. So they hurt as much as anybody else when they have to cut one of their players or do something like that, right? But they're tough also. But again, that's what we look to. You guys, your coach, and that coach should steer you right, because they took an oath. When you're a coach, you protect each and every one of you, regardless of color, regardless of where they come from, regardless of economical status. Each and every one of you, Coach, am I correct? Correct. That's what it is, man. We take an oath, and you protect those players. Jonathan? I knew this young man when he was ripping it up for UCLA. And I'll tell you what, it was such a privilege to know that he was working with the Rams. And it was great to know that the Rams were coming back. It was awesome to feel the love in the air of when they just showed up, and then the new logo and everything else. And look at this, guys. I don't know anybody that would do such great thing like this, because I didn't have it in my playing days. The Rams were around. Roman Gabriel was there. Tom Mack. Youngblood. I think these are names you guys don't know, huh? These are all in Hall of Fame. They're all in the Hall of Fame. We didn't have that. So take advantage of it. Honor the fact that what Jonathan mentioned to you, what they represent. They're not just cleats. They're not just cleats. They can be just about anything you want them to be. And just remember what those represent, okay? They're going to represent hard work that you're going to put in. They're going to represent the respect you have at home. But more importantly, okay, they're going to represent your humble beginning of a gift that the Rams have given you to remember for the rest of your life.
Any questions for Frank? I got two quick questions, Frank. You know, you won the Golden Toe Award. Goes to the top NFL kicker. You played in the Super Bowl. You was on All-Pro selection. When you look back at your NFL career, what was the biggest highlight for you?
You know, the biggest highlight was when we played the Philadelphia Eagles, my first NFL game. We already got done with preseason. Now we go to Philadelphia. And that coach, his name was Dick Vermeil. He was my coach. He was the guy that recruited me to UCLA. We're playing him. And, you know, it's a tough battle, Jonathan. And 12 seconds to go. We're down by 2. We get in there. The offense gets us in position to kick a 46-yard field goal. We nailed it. We ended up being our coach. And it was great because right after that was when they were filming that movie Invincible. You guys remember that? That Coach Vermeil was such a great coach, as they all are. But he opened camp up to anybody that wanted to try out for the NFL when he was up there. I think it was his second year there. He opened it up, and I'm telling you, there was guys with capes, with Batman masks, and all kinds of stuff, looking silly. And they have it. It's on YouTube. You guys ought to, if you get a chance, look at it. It's on YouTube. Jonathan, that was one of my highlights. The one that really probably set the pace was when we were playing the 49ers. And listen to this, I missed 3 field goals. But that put me down because, for a while there, I'm making it. I led the league in scoring and all that stuff. But when I missed those 3 field goals, I tell you what, it still sits in me right here. It's ugly. It's ugly. So what I did, went back to the drawing board, right? I'm kicking. Finally, that was my second year as a punter also. So they approached me. I ended up getting cut after the year after that. But when they approached me, I said, guys, I can't do it no more. My punts weren't being the same. Now, the thing about a punt is not basically you get a beautiful spiral. You notice nowadays the guys are kicking a toe and it's just doing this. So my punts never look pretty like a punter's, spiral and it turns around and does it. But I got the job done. It would go 50 yards, but it would be going like this, man. The return guys hated me punting to them in our team because it was unpredictable. It just go everywhere, man. But the thing is, I got it done. I got the job done. Gentlemen, that's what you got to do. Get the job done. Get your education. Get your high school, right? And then wherever you're going, set it straight 100%. Like we all say in the sports world, 110%. I'll take 100%. I'll take 100%. And then look in the mirror and be satisfied with what you look at.
When you think about the game of football, right, there's so many transferable life skills. There's such power in the game. What's one thing that the game has taught you?
Well, there's so many things, but, after football, there's still life, okay? So everything that I learned from football, I applied that. I worked for the City of Riverside Public Works for 30 years after that. And if it wasn't for football, I wouldn't have been able to maneuver around certain situations, like respecting the administration, respecting your peers, respecting at that time they were called receptionists. Now they're called techs, I believe. But the thing about it is to stay on course, stay on track, finish what you're doing, and go on to the next thing. I think that's the biggest thing, Jonathan, was knowing that you got 60 minutes, right? And you're going to give it your all for those 60 minutes. You have the rest of the time to relax and do the things you need to, but you give it your all.
That's great. Let's give it up for you got some coach?
Mr. Crow, I have a quick question. I know you were in the league for a while and also called it. What's one of the weirdest, pre-game rituals that you remember from your career? Anyway, it could be yours or
Anybody's?
anyway. I have to wear my same 20s every Friday.
Well, Hacksaw Reynolds is not going to like me, okay? Hacksaw Reynolds was number 64. He was our middle linebacker. Right at the time we were going, and Jonathan, you can help me recollect this, if he played in the Super Bowl with us, but he and Wendell Tyler ended up with the 49ers. Over there, they ended up winning. Hacksaw would not change his pants, his playing game pants. He would not let Don Hewitt wash them. He would hang them up. I'm telling you, nobody would go by his locker. It was his game pants, guys, and you see the grass marks, you see all the stains, ugly stuff. He would not have anybody wash them. And he played like that, I think, for about 11 years when he was in the Rams. I don't know if after I left, because I left before he did, if he continued that ritual, but I know he took it to the 49ers. Wendell. So there's just some stuff out there, guys, and they're still doing it to this day. They just have rituals that they believed in growing up, and they're still doing it today. Me, I just didn't change my. I used to wear 2 socks. I had a little one that, like the new ones that you guys are wearing now, short. I cut it, okay, because I needed that cushion, and then I would tape it. Because I was just a big kicker. I was 220 pounds, and I was one of the biggest kickers. Roby from the Miami Dolphins was the biggest one, but I was one of the bigger kickers. I guess the tacos and the modelos does wonders.
Frank, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. And remember, man, football will go away. What you learn, your education, they can't take that away from you. CLA days, they can't take that away from you. That won't go away. Get that education, man, and I'll guarantee you won't have to look back. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you.
Well, thank you. That'll wrap up, Frank. Thanks so much. And just remember, as you look at these cleats, always know life is a matter of choices, and every choice you make makes you, right? And as you look at these cleats, we want you to make the right choices, right? To know that you can be your best, right? And it starts one choice at a time. Frank talked about playing a game 60 minutes a day. We live life 60 seconds, right? Second by second. And every second we have an opportunity to make a choice to be the best version of ourselves. So the Rams believes in you. These cleats are a representation of that, and thank you so much for allowing us to be here.
Thank you so much. Thank you, John. Yeah, appreciate y'all. Hey, let's give a big round of applause for All right, so. Oh, awesome. Okay, cool. This is so cool. I wonder who's gonna get these guys.
Whoever got the most swag on the team.
Our kicker.
Let's go.
Stand up, Angel. Stand up. Kicker, puncher, this guy, all city soccer guy.
Yeah.
Thinks he wants to play DB. I'm just kidding, Angel. All right, so we're gonna pack it up. Thank you guys very much. So, gentlemen, this is what's gonna happen next. We're going to. It's 2:30. All right, so I'm gonna need a few of you, some of the JV guys, if you can help us get the cleats into the boxes. Then we're gonna go over to the equipment room. We're gonna leave them there. So we're gonna get the JV starting O to help us with that. Everyone else, we're gonna get into the locker room. We're gonna get a quick lift in. Okay, quick lift, and then we'll go visit the lady who gives us our snacks, and then we're on the field at 4:00. All right. So let's give a big round of applause. One last time. Sure. James Cortez, where you at, James? Come on over here. James Cortez. I'm sorry, James. You're a cowboy.
Oh, yeah.
Come here, big
49.
Huge already.
Draft them.
Come on over here.
Next Arredondo.
Can we get just a thank you, Rams, on three? Camera? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Here we go. One. Good. Yep, I'm good. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, Rams.
And here we are now speaking with Jonathan Franklin. He is the Director of Social Justice and Player Development, Football Development, also Community Relations, coming here today for a big program. Cleats for Character. Jonathan, good to meet you again here in person at this particular day for being on the campus of Roosevelt High School for the football team's gift, we'll say, for the donation from the Los Angeles Rams. Talk about today's program and how it started and the results that you're expecting from it.
Yeah, today was great. As we celebrate Latinx Heritage Month and in preparation for our Vamos Rams game this weekend against the Buccaneers. And excited to start here in East LA at Roosevelt High School as we donated 60 cleats to the varsity and JV football team. Starting our Cleats for Character program. This year we're excited to donate a total of over 600 cleats to 37 different schools throughout the LA region. So really excited to be here at Roosevelt, donate the cleats, but also host a discussion, right? Had former Ram Frank Carell really share about some transferable life skills and talk about his career as well.
And Jonathan, this is an ongoing program, Cleats for Characters, 2017 from the press release that we read, and know that there's history here, and there's been more than 3,000 athletes or student athletes that are beneficiaries. How do you see the program progressing? Will it continue to grow, and not only in East LA, but say in South LA, the Valley, all the schools in the LA Unified and beyond, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Just in 2019 alone, we donated to 105 schools, throughout the LA region. And to continue this program post-pandemic, donating to 37 schools, especially during these times. It's tough, right? Given the current climate. And to be able to have an impact, to provide the resource that an individual may need to play this great game of football, but not only just donate, but to highlight the importance of it. We're excited to be a part of it.
And the communities, the more you engage communities, the more the parents see their children beginning to change. What happened to John or Juan or Maria or so and so that might have changed their the way that they're looking at school and at life? Because why? There's been something that animated them, that influenced them, that encouraged them, and this must be one of the thoughts that you carry away from an event like this.
Right. It's providing hope where it doesn't exist and maintain it where it does. And we have an opportunity to use our platform as the Los Angeles Rams to inspire that hope, right? To really highlight that it's not about going pro in sports, but going pro in life. And through these events and through these discussions and these opportunities, we can empower the youth to believe in themselves, the best version of who they are. We shared a quote earlier by John C. Maxwell, because life is a matter of choices and every choice you make makes you. And really want to encourage the youth to make the best choices that they possibly can, to really change their communities and be the leaders that they're destined to become.
And Jonathan, wanted to ask you from the message that carries from the upper regions of the Rams as ownership down to the entire staff, but I would say right in the middle somewhere is the community relations component, not in importance, but in, say, logistically speaking, that you have to have a full measure of staff. And you guys are doing very well with your community outreach. And we want to just ask, is there a calendar or your next one, where you're going down the road?
Well, we're definitely coordinating with schools right now. What will be best, based on their flexibility in regards to our Cleats for Character program. But to your point, our approach at the Los Angeles Rams is to listen, learn, then respond. And based off our listening, right, it's really being able to develop programs to meet the needs of the communities that we serve. So there's various programs that we're doing throughout the calendar year, including Cleats for Character, but beyond, to sustain the game, but also grow it as well.
Okay, Jonathan, wow. Just for our viewers that may not know of his student athlete capability or what he did as a student, Dorsey High School. We saw you play and covered you a couple of games, I believe, in our careers. But from there, UCLA, and then on to the NFL. But Jonathan, talk about the UCLA time, because you set some records there.
Yeah, no, was grateful to, be a LAUSD product. I grew up in the inner city of South LA and moved on to UCLA, right? Graduated in honors, political science major. So the education side was extremely important. But to your point, was able to have a great career, leaving breaking 4 records, holding them all today, one being UCLA's all-time leading rusher. So I get nervous every year because UCLA been having some good backs, but hopefully that record stays there for a long, long time.
And of course, able to play in the NFL. Right. Okay, but it was due to an injury that caused the doctors to really huddle up with you and say, hey, you got to think about this. But at least you made the dream to get to the NFL.
Yeah, it was great to follow, Frank Carell's footsteps, being a UCLA Bruin, him being a Bruin legend, and have an opportunity to play in the NFL, being drafted by the Green Bay Packers. And what a huge opportunity. And although it didn't last as long as I hope or expected, but yet to have a dream and for that to become a reality, for me, it's an opportunity to now develop a new dream and know that it is obtainable, right? To provide hope to those that have watched my journey and career and who believe in themselves, right? Who wants to believe in their dreams that it is possible, that they can do those things.
And Jonathan, we wish you all the best for the rest of your career with the Los Angeles Rams, because you are setting a path that will be very well looked at and, of course, appreciated by all the communities. And then at the end of the day, all the student athletes, male and female, because our programs, I think, where you would encourage with the girls. Right. And if there's any that are ongoing now, could you mention those?
Yeah, definitely. We're really excited to really work to grow the game of football and make it more inclusive, right? So creating more opportunities for girls to play. And we're excited to announce a few things in the near future about those pathways when it comes to girls playing sports and playing particularly this game of football. So we will continue to push girls playing flat flag, find out ways we can create those opportunities because everyone matters, right, when it comes to the field of sports. And for us, it's all about access and how can we level the playing field as an organization.
Yes, and I wanted to just include the women or the young ladies, the girls, because we do know that there's women's professional football. And some of these young ladies that are playing now, they are on the boys' varsity football team.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. You know, even there was an email sent last week about an LA Times article about a few female kickers, right, within the LAUSD. So that was incredible to see and really see the barriers that's being broken, right? That this new generation that are exceeding the boundaries and the limitations that were established, you know, in the past. So really excited to see the girls playing this, you know, breaking these barriers and playing a great game.
Yes. And again, that's another topic for discussion down the road, but you're already looking at it, and that's great because we would like to also see that as well. Right. Okay. Jonathan, last thing for you, your thoughts going out to our viewers who now are going to embrace you as part of our programming here for East LA Sports Scene, but for the East LA community and beyond, because we're not only here in Boyle Heights, we go all the way out towards Garfield, as you know, and other Montebello, there's Monterey Park, different communities, predominantly Latino. Any message you might want to convey to them, or maybe through Vamos Rams?
I'm excited to be on the East LA sports scene. Excited for the East LA Classic that is coming up as well, and for the Rams just to continue our efforts within the East LA community. So looking forward to just celebrating Latinx Heritage Month and in preparation of the Vamos Rams game, and we'll keep this going.
Jonathan Franklin, wonderful to have sat down and talked to you again. Okay, absolutely. All the best to you, and God bless you.
Appreciate you.
Okay, there he is, Jonathan Franklin, Director of Social Justice, Player of Football Development, and I think if I left the title out, Jonathan,
perfect. No, that's perfect.
and that is the commitment that the Rams have made. I will say, because of my background as community relations officer in my old job, that this is so important. The engagement level that the Rams are showing by coming out. You don't see too many teams doing all the extracurricular in the community, but the Rams definitely have their finger on the pulse and their hand on the heart to listen and to know that the Rams fans, they're one of a kind. You don't find too many of a Ram fan in all of the NFL or in the world. So Jonathan's got a very good audience. He's got a very good community relationship going with all of the Ram fans who want to just have a little bit of that sparkle, that little gold dust, as we would say here, to know that they're part or they're followers of the Los Angeles Rams. So that will do it for our interview with Jonathan Franklin. We have one more to go, and that's going to be with head coach Aldo Paral. The Roosevelt Rough Riders have their big game this coming Friday with the Huntington Park Spartans here at Roosevelt High School. We'll be back in a moment. This is East LA Sports 2-1. And as head coach Aldo Paral, coach, what an event today. Cleats for Character program came out, Jonathan Franklin, and special Rams legend Frank Corral. Couldn't have asked for a better delivery from the Rams. Current Director of Social Justice and Player Development for football for the Rams, and Community Relations Officer Jonathan Franklin, and then, of course, the Rams legend. But, Coach, you helped everything get started and done. Looking back on it now, just maybe some 30 minutes ago, your overall thoughts and opinions of today's event.
Wow, Rico. Well, first off, thank you for being here and covering this event. I'm really excited. I thought it was going to be a little less formal, to be honest with you, and I was just grateful that it turned out way better than what any plans that we had. I thought the event went very well. Having Mr. Corral and Jonathan here was really cool. Mr. Corral's speech to the kids was really inspiring.
Motivational, inspiring, and came from the roots, because he said right here, that's where he came from. Went to that school right over there, Hollenbeck, and then didn't come to Roosevelt. Then the family had to move on. But again, very, very powerful. And then the actual images and the actual cleats.
Yes.
The images in the minds of the players saying, oh, I can see myself in those. And then, oh, I'm going to get a pair maybe. That had to really lift them up, knowing that this was a very, very special moment in their careers at Roosevelt.
Yes, actually, these kids are pretty tough kids, and it was, without exaggerating, Rico, this was probably one of the first times I've seen kids get excited about something, And I thought it was really cool. There was the box with the cleats over on the side, and the kids were already looking at them, admiring them, and looking forward to getting a pair. And after practice today, we're gonna line them up, and we're gonna distribute to the varsity guys first, and then we're gonna move on and distribute to the JV kids next. But it was really cool. The messaging was incredible. It's really amazing how something as simple as a pair of cleats can just excite these young men. And I know that they mean a lot, not just because they are cleats, but because the value and who's giving it to them. So the significance of the organization, the LA Rams that are donating these.
And if the players are able to understand who might have worn those, what player, these are actually cleats that were used in an official NFL season. That has to bring a little bit more meaning as well.
Yes. The kids weren't aware. Well, first off, the kids were not aware that cleats were going to be donated. They just knew that the Rams were going to be here, and so they didn't really know the context of what the purpose of today's event was. But you're right. Once the kids find out that these were worn in practice by other players, I think the kids are even going to be more fired up, knowing that they are wearing professionals, work.
Yes. And of course, the situation where these were actually worn, and they don't look that beat up, or as they would say, used up, or not too much life left. These cleats are looking very, 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 very sharp, very new.
Yeah. We actually, when we clear out lockers at the end of the year, we always make it a point to try to keep some of the ones that are in fairly decent shape. And those generally are pretty bad to begin with, but these cleats are just excellent. I mean, they're in excellent shape. I actually looked at them, and they, I'm assuming some of them are pretty brand new because they sure as heck look great. So yeah, we are very, very excited.
Well, it comes on the fact that one of the themes or the sub-themes of today was, of course, this is the National Latino Heritage Month, and this is a very good gesture for the Rams to do this, leading off of this very large giveaway or donation that they're going to make to other schools, but Roosevelt was first.
Yes, there were, I know for a fact, there were a bunch of high schools that applied, and the Rams were very generous in donating to many, many programs across the city. So we were just lucky to be focused to gain the attention today. But you're right. There were their generosity since they've been back here in LA has been incredible. So we're excited. Like I said, we Mr. Franklin and the folks over at the LA Rams have been very generous to us over the time they've been here. So we're hoping they continue to remember who we are.
One last aspect here, Coach, we're going to be able to now bookmark this event where the cleats will go to the players. Now there's maybe an expectation that you got very good cleats, and let's get some very good games out of all of our players.
Yes, well, so far things have been going well for us this season. We're 4-1, and we hope we continue to have success. Just before I forget, there was one of the players, I'm not going to mention his name, but just about 2 weeks ago, he had a pair of cleats that were the sole of the shoe was literally unglued from the cleat, and I didn't recognize it. One of my coaches did, and the coach was like, "Hey, coach, this young man needs a pair," and I said, "Sure, we're very lucky. There's we have some cleats there, and we always tell the kids, hey, if you need some, just let us know." And so we were able to get him a pair. And today, when all this was over, he goes, "Coach, is it okay if I get another pair?" And I said, "Of course you can. Of course you can. I mean, but." I think that's the good thing about these young men. They're humble, they're respectful, and they understand that every one of those pairs has a cost. And so they know that their families may not be in a position where they can just go out and drop a few $100 on a pair of cleats. And so for them, it's huge. And you're right, there is an expectation. I think a lot of these kids are going to take care of them. I see it with their helmets, even though they're lent to them. They're cleaning them, they're polishing them up, they're doing everything they can to take care of their of the things that they receive. So I'm sure they will definitely want to work a little harder.
Coach Aldo Paral, as always, we say muchísimas gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you for the time to continue to chronicle the events here that we're covering, not only the games, but this type of an event here in the community and for the school. Coach, we wish you a great success on Friday against Huntington Park, and we will see you here.
Okay, great. And we're looking forward to you being here. Just a little side note, Huntington Park's head coach, Saul Jimenez, Roosevelt grad, played for Javier Sid, and you know he's excited to come back. So we're going to welcome him. Hopefully he doesn't have the success he wants, but yeah, Saul Jimenez is coming back, and hopefully a lot of folks are able to attend.
He'll have his own memories here.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Coach,
definitely.
again,
Thank
gracias,
you.
and we'll see you soon.
Thank
Okay?
you very much.
All right. That's going to do it for this edition of East LA Sports Scene as we covered the Rams donation here of Cleats for Character on the campus of Roosevelt High School, right in front of the brand new $200 million, we believe, or $20 million, $200 million the gymnasium facility. It's one of the best in the city, and we had a chance to be outdoors and then indoors for our interviews. Of course, outside, again, a huge day, 90 degrees, possibly more, but we're taking advantage of the interior of the gymnasium to be able to do professional work. Thank you, Coach. We thank Jonathan Franklin and Frank Corral. It was great being indoors, comfortable, and bringing good quality information and documentation to our viewers. So for Frank Lee Robles, our videographer and producer, yours truly, Rico Cabrera, our Rico Cabrera Sr. Thanks for watching, and continue to stand by on East LA Sports Scene as we bring you our weekly high school game of the week, Roosevelt versus Huntington Park, 7 p.m. here on September the 24th.
Correct.
Yes, and it'll be right here. We'll bring it all to you on our play-by-play. So, till we're together again, take care, be careful. More importantly, be safe out there with the COVID, but be back. Take care, and we'll see you soon.